let's go.
Thanks for doing this, Andrew. I appreciate
course, buddy.
it. Oh, what are we doing?
Oh, okay.
The fist bump as well.
That's a Canadian
Happens.
thing, kind of.
No, definitely. You like just messing up the hand in general?
Yeah.
You think it's Canadian?
Yeah, well, there's so many variants, right?
Okay.
So, I mean, kind of the goat, okay.
Whoa,
Okay.
that's very quick.
Go
Slow
to.
motion.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you go like this.
Yeah.
That's a common one. And then, like doing that, like,
But
yeah.
do you ever do that one?
Well, okay, yeah. That one as well. In high school, this is
Yeah.
the one that everybody did.
Yeah.
And then it was very localized and no one else does it, but you don't even go for this. You just do, we call it the slide and bop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
You
know
guys
what
do
you're
that?
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
But it's
All
not,
right,
it's
I don't
not
know.
that common.
No, I think it's common enough.
Yeah?
I don't think it's like a specifically Canadian thing, definitely. I think definitely Americans,
Yeah.
we fuck up handshakes all the time.
Yeah.
'Cause we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's like, what game are we going
It's
for? Are we
always-
going for
it's
the
always-
official?
it's always
Are we going
jazz.
for
It's
like
always,
this?
yeah.
Are we bringing it in all the way, locking it, the hand pad at the end?
Yeah.
There's a couple different ways to do it. But no, I have to say, yeah, thanks, man. I was like, I met you, you're cool, you're killing it on the guitar, and I was just like, you gave me inspiration to keep doing this, because it's been a while and I haven't wanted to put the pressure out to create this, because I'm thinking about a lot of other things creatively wise, and this is something that I feel like is very, it can be very deep, because I try to be as honest, like I'm as honest as possible, like
that's cool.
I'll share whatever, you know.
Yeah, me too.
So it makes it interesting in that way, but
Is it all like travelers that you've been interviewing?
yeah, whoever.
basically?
I mean, like as I've been traveling, like I've stayed in different places, and I've talked to a lot of people that are staying in places, some being travelers as well, but for the most part I try to talk to people that are living in places.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, it is cool to go around and talk to people from different places, but what I'm interested in is different perspectives, and I think everyone has their own way of doing things, a way of seeing the world and navigating through the world, because we're all trying to essentially solve the same problem of, what am I doing with this life here?
Yeah.
You know, that's what it comes down to. What am I doing?
We're all
with
trying to
this
solve
life?
the equation.
Yeah. So and we all come at it from different ways, and I would never be able to have someone tell me how to do something or how to live my life. But I think in general I like listening to that, because
Yeah.
it's all information.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying different shit, and that works, and this doesn't work maybe, or whatever the case is. But really that's what's in it for me. And I just think it's cool in general when we decide to choose something, we latch onto it, and we forge a passion around it. And from the little I've seen of you, it seems like that's what you've done with music, and that for me is a very important thing, you know. I'm sure for you too, there's a great weight to it. I don't know how long ago you started like messing around with music, or how that evolved.
Yeah, I mean, I started when I was like insane, like 2. My parents put me into Tunes for Twos.
Whoa, you're
which
one
is
of those.
Just as cute as it sounds, yeah.
Tunes for Twos.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was just like, it was just like babysitting, but with
Instruments.
learning the C major scale.
Okay.
And then when I was 3, started playing piano, which same thing, babysitting, but with a piano now.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I went through that whole program, started learning guitar when I was 8, and then I stopped playing piano around that time. And then when I picked up production when I was 18, I was like, damn, really wish I didn't quit piano, because piano becomes everything.
It's the basis for all of it.
Yeah.
But do you think, I mean, like, you still, the fundamentals and everything with
Oh,
guitar
yeah,
still
yeah.
translates
And
to
I still know, you know, scales and basics and chords and everything, like on piano.
And it's so easy to teach yourself, like the production side, it's so easy to teach yourself, because there's so many people that have gotten into that, knowing nothing of the music world.
Yeah.
So even having at least one in to the music world, like, for sure it's something that can be learned.
Yeah. Production's a fun one. When I started doing it, I was like obsessed. Like I was just spending so much time doing it. Almost like basically got me fired from my job. I was like on the way out already. I had another job, but I like stayed up until 4 a.m. one night just producing. I didn't even realize it was 4 a.m. I was like, fuck. I'm like, I work tomorrow. And then
Was that the one that did it?
Yeah, like I slept in like through my alarm because I was just dead, and then I was fired shortly thereafter. But I had like another restaurant gig at the time. Like I had two, but I stopped producing when I was I was only doing it for like a couple of years, and I stopped because it was like overwhelming. Like I was trying to be Tame Impala and to do all the instruments and all the mixing and everything and songwriting and the whole shit, and it was just like too much. And then now I've just been focusing on like just fundamentals, like acoustic guitar, song, like write a good song, and then we can get pros to do the rest.
You don't think you could fill in the gaps after you laid that initial part out? Like getting the melody, getting the chords and all the lyrics, and then adding more rhythm elements or more like harmonic elements?
I definitely could. The hold up with me, and maybe I could do it still if I just like got over it, but like I'm just so keen on how it sounds that it's like way too easy to slip into just fiddling with a fucking snare for an hour.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, the song isn't done yet. Or like,
yeah.
Like I would like, when I was producing, like, it would usually be like beat first, and then I would, so I'd be messing around with like snare and kick and everything, getting it good.
Hey.
What's up?
Are you the one to talk to if two of my mates want to book a bed here?
Yeah, I can help with that. Doesn't need to be done right now.
Well, one of them's here, but like I can just, there's a spare bed in our room, so I can just get her to give you the money later or something.
Yeah, did they book a room?
No, they haven't booked.
They did, so you don't know if the beds are available?
Yeah, I talked to Dion and he said he said that there are.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then he would have already marked them as unavailable. So then, yes, they are available. Perfect.
Okay.
So
but
you
like
can.
they give the money to you, yeah? Because I felt bad like then messaging him because he's like on holiday.
Yeah, it's okay. If I can help in a little bit with
Okay,
that,
cool.
for sure. But you can take them to 2 empty beds.
Okay,
Okay, cool. Okay, so the thing is, I didn't mean to be involved in this hostel, and it's kind of a funny story because I wanted to, like, when I came to Albania, I wanted to work at a hostel. I got the World Packers thing, and I was looking at Workaway. Initially I wanted to do a woof thing here, whatever. And I was doing shit too late, so nothing was working, this and that. And then I was just bouncing around Albania, went to the south, and my buddy here, he recommended this place. So I came on up, and I just decided to like I was gonna stay here one night. I'm like, I'll do 3 nights, and then I'm like, I should do another week.
Yeah.
And now I'm at like 2 weeks, and it's funny because like I just organically got closer to the managers and just like this place in general, and then I just started taking more, and then they just started giving me more responsibility, and it was weird, dude. Like the first day they like gave me responsibility of like that shit. It was like I just felt like I felt so good. Like I was just like running around and doing stuff I didn't need to do, like cleaning up around here, and like I don't know. It's just it's a stupid thing. Maybe it's just like the drive to do something, the drive to be of not of importance, but of value, to be of value and to share that value.
Yeah.
I love that feeling, and so that's why I enjoy doing it, even though I don't I get some benefits from it, but I'm just like helping out. But it's not like I'm doing it for anything. Like I would just stay here normally and be doing it because it makes my days more enjoyable. It connects me more to the place. I'm able to stay here and there's a sweet church in the back, or like whatever, and I don't need to like look at it all the time, but just the fact that it's there, it just like sinks in. like
Right.
that this is a place, and I'm
Right,
at this
right.
place, and these are things here, and like we're at the place where these things are, and these
Yeah.
people are,
Yeah.
and it's cool.
Yeah.
Instead of just like
Bouncing around too much is not the move.
no, man, and I learned it quick. I think a lot of people do with traveling, because the whole idea is, well, I only have 2 months and I want to see every fucking city in Europe, and it's like,
well, that's not happening.
well, the thing is, if you make it happen, number one, you're gonna be fucking exhausted. You're
Yeah.
gonna be like worn out. You're gonna have information overload. You're not gonna want to see a thing for fucking 2 months after that. And the other thing is, you're not gonna have gone below surface level.
Yeah.
It's going to
Anywhere,
be
yeah.
2 nights in one place, 2 nights in one place, or a lot of people do 1 night in a place, 1 night in a place, and it's
One
like,
night anywhere is ridiculous to me.
yeah, it's
It's
like,
like-
unless it's like, you're traveling somewhere and like this place popped up, and like you're making things work, to get to the spot.
Yeah.
But if you decide to go to a spot,
Yeah.
why not stay there longer?
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, like we have time restraints. People have lives and shit that we have to do for sure. But if you have the opportunity to stay longer, and then it's cheaper, you do it in cheaper ways as well, and then it's less like Ren says it beautifully. Like, you don't come to a hostel to stay, you come to a hostel to be. We're not staying here. We're here to be. So it's a different like state of consciousness, because if something's dirty, like you can clean that, and then that is for everyone else, or like you can bring something back and share it with everyone else. Like, it's all like this thing that's like connected, that we're a part of, and we get to build it, and it's cool, it's fun. And I think those of us that see that and take that in and try our best to do justice to that have a great time doing it, and also like it makes it fun for everyone else.
Yeah.
And that in of itself is such a fucking cool thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I mean, everyone's like, what are you doing? I'm not doing shit really. Like, my days, I'm not really doing anything. I set an adventure for myself.
Yeah.
I go and I, do something, end up doing 3 other things or whatever else. But for the most part, trying to take it easy,
Yeah.
So it's a weird thing, that balance with travel. So you want to do a lot, but then you need the time to integrate it.
Well, it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's like everything, I guess. Like, you need to, at some point, commit in some capacity to something.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be traveling forever. Eventually, you want to pick a city,
Yeah.
and you want to pick a girl,
Yeah, exactly. No, and I love that metaphor too. Like, traveling is like dating,
Yeah.
Like, you can be in love with traveling, sure, but I like places, I want to be at places, just like I want to be with people.
Yeah.
That's how it is. I don't want to just skim through and see the things that everyone sees and whatever else. It has no meaning in it. That's what I realized, because I did it, and it was beautiful, and I was like, wow, this is cool, and this is that, and it's all there. All the appreciation, I tried to put all that appreciation there, and intellectually is very stimulating. You go walk around by yourself, see beautiful churches, beautiful this, but if you're, not able to share it with people, it doesn't mean anything.
It gets old. I was feeling that way in Western Europe a lot. Just like, super beautiful places, but it felt like there wasn't really anything like unique necessarily about the experience. It's like you're saying, like you're seeing the things that everybody sees. You go to you only have a couple nights in a spot. If you have one night in Paris, for instance, or say 2 nights, if you have one night, you actually might not go, but you're gonna see the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like every fucking other person goes to Paris.
Which
and
you
sees
have
the
to
Eiffel
see,
Tower.
of course, but that's...
Which you gotta do it. But
Yeah.
then I feel like the real experience comes, weeks later. If you're in Paris for 3 weeks, what are you doing at that point?
Sure,
Like
yeah.
that's the real meat.
Yeah, and at the same time, I don't think it's like a time thing. I don't think it's a time-specific thing. I think it's how fast are you able to make friends in a place? And to
Yeah.
your point, I wouldn't go to a place, like, there's so many places that I have no anxiety to go to, because I know that, like, I would go there and I would have no connections there. Yes, I could make connections, but I'm fine waiting till the point of where I have connections, and then I'm able to travel to that place without all that stress, because I'm
Right.
going to be able to have that in. I'm going to be able to see the place the way they see it, and then that makes it
Yeah.
fun. Versus just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
why don't we go there? I don't have that desire so much, you know.
Yeah.
I did for Italy, and then I sought that out, but I don't know. I'd rather focus, you know.
Yeah.
Bella, do you
Sorry,
need something?
I literally didn't know that you guys were like doing something. Yeah, because Diona said ask Cooper if there's anyone checking in later, because there's 2 free beds in our room, but like no one's coming in later.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm
he told
sorry.
me to ask you, so.
Okay, well, I haven't looked at the system. I don't know who's coming today.
Okay, well, he said the beds that are free, take them, but make sure
They'll all be the same. They'll all be the same. So if there's two rooms, whatever beds are free. If you'd like them in our room, then that's fine.
Yeah, okay. But I just don't want them to like take someone else's thing. But if you don't
Okay.
know if there's anyone who's coming in later, then I guess there's no one, right?
Yeah.
What are you trying to do?
She
Trying to
can.
scam your way into
No. No.
Feels that way.
Fully legit. No, because my 2 mates want to come.
Goodness
stay.
gracious.
Giannis was like, yeah, whatever.
Maybe it is kind of. This is kind of like a reason why these locations are hard. Like it's why these places are so cool. Is because like everything is constantly moving. It's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a set thing. But I've noticed with this, I'm like, oh, I want to do it in cool different places. But the thing is, it's like it does make it more difficult in a lot of
Yeah.
ways, because then you don't have like the focus of it. Like, yeah, having
Yeah.
ambient sounds in the back and this and that. Like, oh,
Yeah.
that's so aesthetic. Blah blah blah.
Same thing with
become-
music, for like practicing. Like, I like to like go to a park or something, or even just like out here. Practicing out here was cool.
Dude,
But
it's
like, there's
fucking
nothing
awesome.
like just a room,
Like
just a room, 4 walls.
no one.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
purposely no one.
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Well, it's a different thing, because once people are there, you're not just practicing, you're performing.
Yeah,
You might
exactly.
you might think you're practicing, but you're performing to them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What's up?
Can she give these beds away? I mean, I don't know if it's
You said you talked to Dion,
Yeah,
and
but
he.
told me to talk to you. He said make sure that Cooper doesn't think that there's people coming in later.
How is
I haven't looked at the system. I haven't looked
Okay,
at the
well, where
booking
is it?
system.
Is it written down or is
No,
it?
it's on the
system is
computer.
in the computer.
And you have to
Never
check
looked in
booking
there.
and Hostel World.
So someone takes that information and puts it on
Can-
a piece of paper.
Could you just? I mean, Christian would. If that would be doable, or I can check right
No, I
now
messaged
if it's
Christian and he said the same thing.
to talk to me.
Yes.
What the fuck happened
No,
here?
actually, it wasn't. Diona didn't say talk to Cooper. He said.
Talk to Christian.
He said, yeah, and he said if there's free beds, then they're free. Talk to Christian, and then I talked to Christian. He said talk to you.
So the way I would handle it, since they're doing that, is you do the beds, and then a message needs to be sent to them. Take the beds offline.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
well,
if
it's
you
only
don't
for a
tell them,
night.
they'll just be like, yeah, and they'll be
Yeah.
up for rent, and
Yeah.
there's someone in.
Yeah.
They've done it before.
Okay, well.
Because I was like, Dion, don't forget to take out the bed that you had me. And he's like, yeah. And then, like,
And then it was
hope
like,
for
true.
someone booked it.
uh,
Well, we solve it. I mean, no one's ever homeless in this situation. But,
yeah,
it's crowded. It gets crowded.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was a family that came in earlier, like asking for a room. I'm like, sorry, the private room is booked. And they're like, you don't have. I'm like, we have one private room. This is a hostel. So that was interesting. I thought it was like a hotel or something.
Yeah, I mean, it is called. You know what I mean?
That's
You
true.
think it had many rooms.
It's very
Not
deceiving.
many people, few rooms.
Yeah.
Many people in few rooms. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so if you're in touch with them, those guys.
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah, no, I'm saying in touch with Dion and Chris.
All right. Let's try to get back on
Let's
track
reel
here.
it back in.
Or whatever. My friends came.
What the fuck were you talking about? You were saying something cool about music.
To both guys.
Or is it like the best is like
Oh, practicing.
seclusion?
Practicing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a room.
Hey, Ren, we're recording right now. Like, we're recording a podcast. No, you're good. I just wanted to let you know. So, you're aware. But yeah, that is a weird thing, like practicing in front of people. Because it's a different type
You
of
also gotta
practicing. It's a
practice,
different
like-
muscle. You have to
yeah.
practice I don't know if it's a social muscle or it's like just getting rid of that fear of doing things in front of people and doing it the way you would do it by
Yeah.
yourself, but you're doing it in front of people.
Thing is, the way I would do it by myself would just be annoying. Like how I do it by myself is like if I'm practicing a song, I just keep fucking playing the song over and over again until I
Yeah.
nail it.
Yeah, exactly.
And no one wants to hear me play the same song, 10 times.
So that's the beauty about a place like this, because if you stayed at like a hostel for long enough, theoretically, right, there'd be new people coming every day,
Yeah.
right?
I feel like in one session though, like
Oh, and even in one session, yeah.
like I would like finish the song and then, all right, right back to the start. Like,
I mean, you could busk doing
you
that
can do-
for sure, right? Because it's people walking by. Like you could have a
True.
couple songs that you roll through.
True. Yeah.
It's the same thing here, like you played a song that I heard, but then like no one else heard. Everyone else that came like didn't hear. Like you could probably repeat a couple songs
Yeah.
because I'd want to hear this shit again too.
But it's for that, like,
not annoying,
those would be songs that I've already, practiced.
Okay. Okay, we're
But
talking about
if
different
I'm like
stuff.
working on one, then
If you're creating a
yeah.
song. Okay.
or like learning a cover, but I just need to like really nail it down.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's some songs that I've spent like the Airbag I played last night, the Radiohead one. That is like I've literally probably spent like 30 hours on that song.
Wow.
Because it's tough, like with the vocal and the guitar too, the little licks and lines and things. I spent a lot of time on that song, and most of it was over like a couple weeks, where I was doing it like maybe in an hour a day of like just that one song. And so like no one wants to hear that of just the same four, because it's like for like tough songs, like you gotta like just repeat 4 bars, just get your fingers
Slowing it down. Speeding it up. Slowing it down. Speeding it up.
and just repeat until your fingers can do it and you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
and then
no one wants to-
adding the layer of your voice on top.
yeah.
So separating the left hand, separating the right hand,
Yeah.
and then the vocal element as well.
Yeah. Those songs are cool though. The ones that are like really tough, like they feel good to play more than easy songs.
Yeah.
I find.
Well, because it's more special when you can do something difficult.
Yeah.
When you make something that's difficult easy for you, that's what that feeling is.
Yeah.
It's like it was difficult.
Yeah.
I remember it feeling difficult,
Yeah.
but I don't feel that anymore.
Well, that part, I think that's another element. I was kind of thinking like, there is like, it's not necessarily that it is hard. It's just that like, there's a lot going on, and so when you execute it, there's just something about like, it just like there's like a visceral like, it's not like I'm thinking like, oh, this was so hard.
Yeah.
But it's just like when you really nail it, it's like
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
there it
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Yeah.
Man, that's the feeling. That's what it's for, right?
Yeah.
Like, cause you said you were studying music when you were young, or you were put in like music,
Yeah.
whatever, when you were
Yeah.
young. But do you remember a specific moment when like it clicked? You're like, this is something that I love.
That's a good question.
And if it wasn't a
feel
specific
like-
moment, like how was that process of like
Yeah.
because it can be annoying,
Yeah.
like
Well, my,
doing
my
something
mom,
over and
my
over,
mom
especially
was
if you're put
making
into
me
it.
practice
Yeah.
for like the longest time, and then eventually I was good enough on an instrument that I liked that it was fun, because I was never in love with piano. But when I started playing guitar, I was like, oh, okay, this is like cool, whatever.
Cool.
This is the rock star instrument.
Okay. You started
okay.
acoustic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so yeah, my first couple years of guitar was like classical guitar with like reading sheet music and everything, because that was like the extension of like the piano institution I was going to was like more like classically trained,
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
So reading sheet music and music theory and the whole thing. And that provides a good foundation, but I actually don't think it's the best way to learn. Like, where I teach now at School of Rock, it's very much like, if you play guitar, like sheet music's not a thing.
Really?
Because it's all tabs. Like you don't need, you will have like, you do have the sheet music and the tab underneath it, but you really just use the sheet music to see the rhythm and to like visualize the notes.
Yep.
But you don't necessarily need to know like, this is this note. But then getting kids to flip, because you do want to know some theory, getting them to get that it's like really important is tough sometimes.
Okay.
I think the older kids kind of get it. Like I had this one lesson where one of my kids came in and he was like, I want to learn theory. I'm like, no way.
That's why we're here.
I'm like, boy, like that's good cooking. Like,
That's good when you have someone that wants to learn.
Yeah. And then he's
Was
like,
this a private
putting
lesson?
all the pieces together. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic, man.
He's like, he was like connecting things in his head, like, oh, so this works because of this. I'm like, yeah.
Well, I think it's tough to teach something like music because at the heart of music is emotion and feeling.
Right.
So, I mean, learning all these tools and having this toolkit is great, but if you don't have a blueprint, you know, which comes from something deeper,
I
like
try
playing,
to teach that
like
a
playing
lot.
from feel to start.
Yeah.
I wonder, I'm just speculating right now, if learning to play from feel at the very beginning is more important than learning any of the theory or like anything
I think
special.
you are onto something. I try to like, I try to get the kids like really feeling it just on power chords, because that's all you need.
Okay.
Like once you know power chords, like you can rock out. Like tons of great punk bands, rock bands, like it's power chords the whole way. So I try to get them to be like, okay, like this is how you're playing it, like dun, 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 dun. This is how they would play it, like I'll get them to stand up. I'm like, it sounds different if you stand up. Like try it.
Okay.
Try standing up and going like that.
Yeah.
Like it's like it sounds like what you put into it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So, and especially like some kids are like shyer, you know, and don't want like, they don't feel the rock star in them yet. And so you kind of got to get them to be like, no, like it's chill, like, like you can let it out, like it's good. That's what we're here for.
Sure. But I guess there's different ways of playing too, right? Like you might get the kid that like wants to like really like fucking like feel the string every time you, or you know, like whatever, like whatever it is, like it can be power.
Yeah.
And
Whatever
those emotions are, but
you usually at the start there's no feel like at all of any. There's kind of like, this is the note, play the note.
Yeah.
Santana calls it being in the note. I'll take a little bit.
In the note.
In the note instead of out of the note. He's like, this is out of the note, bam, and this is in the note. Bam.
Okay.
It's like become the note.
Interesting. Interesting. That's really cool. So what ages do you teach?
It'd be like, well, basically all ages. Like at the School of Rock, it's like there's adults too, but mostly between like 8 and 18.
Okay.
The young kids are pretty like the best group, because it would be like individual lessons. Every kid has an individual lesson a week and one with a group, and the group's like a full band setup.
Yep.
So I was teaching the young kids as a group, and it was 3 boys. We didn't have a bassist. We had it was actually 4 boys. 2 drummers, 1 guitar, 1 vocal. We didn't have a bass. So my job every Saturday morning was to play bass for a band of kids. It was fucking sick.
That's fun.
just rock it out. And it's actually the best instrument, I think, to lead a group like that. Like if I was on guitar or vocals, it's like, it would be kind of a mess.
Okay.
But like,
you're kind of underneath it all.
Yeah. Like bass is like the marriage of the rhythm and the melody, the harmony.
Okay.
It's like bridges those together, and you
never thought about it
so,
like
so
that.
you get like, I never thought about my bandmate, the bassist Alec. He told
That's
me that,
cool.
and I was like, He's like, that's why it's the musician's instrument.
The musician's instrument.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. He's into it. He likes his guitar.
He likes his bass.
Yeah, he likes it a little bit more than the rest of the bassists. He wins.
Yeah.
Funny, man.
But so yeah, it's like easy to lead like that because it is very rhythmic, but then
Yeah.
you also carry the chords. Like
Yeah.
you can, yeah.
And also, it's like more in the body. Like
Yeah.
the bass.
Yeah.
I feel like with kids, like you get bass going, and get like
Yeah.
a little,
Yeah.
going.
Oh, and I would do that with the drummers I was teaching too. I would be like, sometimes we'd have a whole lesson where like I'm on bass and they're on drums and we're just trying to lock it. Because that's huge. Like instead of playing with a track, like playing with a live bassist, like bass and drums need to like communicate,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
So I'd just be like, we just do,
Because that's the stage for everything else.
yeah, that's the foundation.
Yeah. So how long have you been teaching music then?
Just started last year. Yeah, basically did like a whole year of School of Rock and then came over to Albania.
Funny.
Yeah.
Any intention for this trip?
No intention necessarily. Like, if something comes up, or like, okay, I do have one thing that's kind of on the back burner right now because I just stopped doing it because travel. But I met a guy out here from LA, Jad, who has
God.
no,
I
he's a
can't.
legend. It's Chad with a J.
No, dude, that's not a real name. That can't be a real name. Jad?
Jad.
No,
So
dude.
Jad.
No.
That's but he doesn't. He's not like that. He's
I'm sure it's been
chill,
a battle
but
his whole
he's-
life
Yeah.
with a name like Jad.
Maybe that's why he's so charismatic. He's gotta overcome it somehow.
His parents
But-
just wanted him a life of being shirtless on the beach. Like,
You'll be a surfer.
anyways.
Yeah, he has an app called Opus Cafe that's like, it's like Instagram, but for creatives, anybody with a goal. Like you just like post like updates towards of your progress towards a goal.
Okay.
And so obviously he sees great potential for music as kind of like that's a crowd that would use it a lot.
Okay.
So
But
anyways,
don't they already just use Instagram though? Why wouldn't you just
Yeah,
keep
but-
using Instagram?
this is like, it's like on Instagram I wouldn't, for instance, post like practice updates.
Okay.
Like this is me like working on it. I would post the finished thing.
Okay.
Right.
So it's kind of like a music diary.
Yeah. And then people can follow you and whatever. But then there would be, like we were talking about further down the line, this would be a great way to implement some type of teaching. If you're like, okay, as a teacher, you would post your own progress if you're working on like a crazy song.
Mm-hmm.
And then people would see that and be like, oh, he can do it. He did it. And he teaches. And then you can just like, almost like browse teachers, just like that.
No, it would be something to learn from in general because
Yeah.
it's your learning journey.
Yeah.
Like if you're working on a song, it's you learning that song, right? Like you're creating it, but you're learning it at
Yeah,
the same time,
yeah.
right? And so that journey is what everyone will follow.
Yeah.
And following the learner's journey is learning.
And having people who are like watching it, I think, gives you a little bit more drive.
well, especially if they can like add ideas
Yeah.
in some way, you know, like maybe if like it was other musicians, then you could like send different like different rhythms or ideas that you have for things.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that could be interesting for sure.
I think it could be really cool. But anyways, yeah, Jad commissioned me to basically use the app while learning Going to California by Led Zeppelin, and I learned a little bit of it. That's a one where you fucking gotta repeat the same 4 bars over and over and over again for every spot of the song. It's tough because the part is combining the guitar and the mandolin, which I tried learning the song a few years ago, and I started and immediately was like, oh, I can't do it because it's guitar and mandolin, and they're both very crucial. But some guy figured out how to combine them, so I was learning it. I think I still will finish it, but I haven't
did it
been
help
posting.
you? Did it help you to use it?
I only did the one as a thing. I did like my first one.
Oh, so you
and it
didn't
was
really
cool.
use it?
No.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll get back to it. Or maybe I'll use it with a different song that's not as insane.
Well, it's hard to like, I don't know. It'd be cool to document the learning process.
Yeah.
But being the one in the process makes it difficult because
Yeah.
how do you know what to document? All this shit.
Well,
when you're
that's the
figuring
thing,
everything
that's the
out,
thing.
you're not conscious of it. It's just
Yeah.
happening. And then if you think about documenting it happening, then you're thinking about creating something else versus just creating the thing that you're thinking about.
Yeah,
You know? So
I think it works for like a big project that's a little bit systematic, like so going to California is it's like breakable down to parts. This is what you got to do first, right hand, left hand, yada yada, intro, bridge, chorus. And since it's like a big song and would take a lot of time to learn, it kind of makes sense to have, like, you're gonna break it down anyways and go through it, and so you can post that. But most of the stuff that I do isn't as daunting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if
It's
like
just
I'll
tedious.
I'll
It's just
usually
tedious
learn
to-
a song in
yeah.
like a day, 2 days.
yeah,
And
so to document it all is
so yeah, to post it all and be
it's unnecessary. But it is cool if you want to be a teacher,
yeah.
right? So, but that's a different thing.
Oh, there's also
can be
like
both.
there's
You
like
can be both,
runners
but
on
there are
there
different
too,
things.
which I think that's a great platform for that actually, for like running progress.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I like writing, but for me, it's very personal. I guess yes, sharing progress is good, and having people that support you is good. But at the same time, I think what I like being about a writer is not being around other writers. I'd rather be with people that are completely different and seeing completely different things that I can then put into writing, you know. I think making it all about writing, it's too circular. You need to bring the outside in. That's what it is. Writing isn't about writing. Writing is about making it understood. It's the same as music. It's the same as any art form. It's about bringing it across. How do we share this, you know? But what are we sharing? Let's see more so that we can share more. It's kind of the way that I want to approach it. By the way, do you have a phone I can use the light for?
Oh yeah. Oh, actually I don't. It's charging.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, bringing. Ooh, John Mayer said something that was really cool, I think. He said, instead of trying to write about the world, you want to encapsulate the whole universe into one song. He's like, instead write a song about something specific and you find the world in that thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And inspiration will come from different places, but like you're saying, like you need to observe it, you need to have it around you, and put yourself in positions where it can happen.
Yeah, and this is where I think art forms differ a lot, or maybe this is just like how it works for me. I think for music, I need to be around people that are into music. Otherwise, for me, I'm not into it as much. Like music for me is a communal thing. It's not just me. I totally feed from other people. That's how I create music. And if I don't have people to feed from, I won't
It's-
create as much,
yeah.
and I'll end up not creating as much.
Having the
Right-
band is really huge. Like I was practicing a lot more just because I was like, gotta get done for the boys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's something about that.
Yeah.
But then writing, I think, is the opposite. Writing is something that is for me, and it's like I don't want to like talk about the shit that I'm working on. You know.
Well, sometimes
I don't want it. I don't want it to be known at all.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm generally like that too. But then sometimes I'll just try writing some bullshit with like a group around. And I think it is actually easier to get in the zone at times when there's a crowd, because you can't just stop. If once you're going, like, you got to keep the structure and the rhythm going the whole time. And then I'll just like sing stuff over top of it and try to make some goofy, absurd story. And I feel like having a crowd like leads me into places that I wouldn't usually go.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't try to keep it moving for the whole thing. I would like kind of pull back and like focus on a little bit. Like I almost had the line here, like let's place it, instead of just kind of going and just let it all out.
Yeah. I think that owes to the art.
Yeah.
Writing or music is a
Because you can
communal art.
Yeah, and
it's
what
to be
you
shared.
Yeah.
It's to
Yeah,
bring
exactly.
people in.
Yeah.
Many people at once. And
Writing, you're not.
writing is
Yeah.
is the opposite. It's one-to-one. It's quiet.
Yeah.
And that way it's very big, because it takes everything, you know. I mean, yes, you can like read a story and like read a story to like multiple people, but I think in essence, like you're talking to someone, you know. And that someone because it's not a specific person, unless you're writing to a specific person, but that's different. Like if you're just writing to write, that, I don't know, that vague person that you're writing to, like you need to be away from people for that. At least that's how I work. Otherwise, it's kind of difficult. It pulls me out too much. Then I'm talking to people, you know, and I'm not, you know, speaking in my writing.
Yeah. That's an interesting, because like I feel like you really almost need to be more locked in if you're writing something out than like writing a song. Like you need to be more focused.
No, it's locked into a different thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think the music thing, the space that it is in feeds off of other people's energy and having other people around. Maybe for some songs, no. Maybe some songs are more personal and some songs are more inviting, you know.
Yeah.
But it all depends on if what you're working on draws from people's energies. I mean, like, I don't paint. I don't know if you paint, but, you know, people paint with people around, people paint by themselves, and I guess it just depends on what you can draw energy from or what is deterring your focus.
Right.
That's the balance. Are you able to draw energies from something, or is it deterring your focus?
Yeah.
But that's cool, though, that with music, that it's like that it brings people together. It brings things out. It's like something that everyone is experiencing simultaneously.
Like Psycho Killer last night was a fun one.
Yeah, doing
sick.
like karaoke and shit like that too, but like even, I don't know, like just playing shit from scratch, like, or like not having anything and like just creating something.
Yeah.
That is really interesting.
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden there's something, and from something then there are other things that are heard and that are brought in, and all of a sudden you're on the ride. It's weird. It's weird how music works like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything quite like it in that regard.
No. There's it is like an art form that I feel like is in our bones more than others. like, I think it's because it came first, I guess, right?
Do you think music came first?
Music came before.
Well, we would have no way to know.
Before caveman paintings.
Yeah, we were painting a long fucking time ago.
But I feel like
But
we were
it's-
banging on shit before then.
That's reasonable
Ooga
to
booga.
assume, and like using our voices,
Yeah, yeah,
for sure,
yeah.
definitely. I mean, there's absolutely no way to prove it. But you'd probably be right.
Honestly, with the voices, it might even be way early, because like birds sing,
Yes.
but they don't paint.
Well, but this is where it gets tricky, right? Because what's the difference between music and vocal conversation? Because we're having a conversation right now. This is happening with vibration in sound.
Yeah.
But nothing in specific brought you to Albania.
No, it's really just that it's on the way east.
On the way east. It's
And
like a little stepping stone.
yeah. But then because it's coast, I was like, let's just go mostly down the coast.
Mm-hmm.
And then might not actually make it to Sarand because it's pretty far south and I'm going to Istanbul ultimately. So I'm gonna go through like North Greece.
Okay.
Um,
And what I think is admirable is you are traveling with a guitar, which is a definite commitment. It's a lot to carry.
honestly, yeah, like people say that, but I feel like it hasn't really gotten in the way. I had to pay a lot for it on the plane from Vienna to Split. Like I had already purchased a second bag, and then when I got to board, they were like, "Oh, like the guitar needs, because it can't fit in the carry-on spot." So they're like, "You got to buy another seat for it."
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's like, can I put it on my lap? It's my baby.
Yeah.
It's my little dog.
Yeah.
You can't put it on my lap?
No, you got another seat.
Wow. You bought
So,
another fucking
yeah.
seat. Jesus Christ. It's like it's your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
brought your girlfriend in a
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
Like a fucking psychopath.
That's a crazy band name. Girlfriend in a case.
Girlfriend in a case. There you go.
Write that one down. I have a running list. I have like an enormous list.
I'm
We can check it out later.
sure it exceeds 3 digits. I'm sure.
I can. It's getting up there. I don't know if we've crossed 3 yet.
All right.
Because
Well, now I'm
I
disappointed.
only write down the crazy ones. I only write down the
Okay,
good one.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I go tree leaf. Right. Add that one.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, tree leaf. No, it sucks.
Nice. Tree Leaf as a band.
I don't know
Yeah,
about
you
it.
would probably fall asleep at that band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make ambient indie rock,
Yeah.
but worse.
And like with you bringing the guitar, like it sounded like you were like working on music, working on.
Yeah.
shit,
Well, yeah. I
like,
mean,
as
I'll,
you're traveling,
yeah.
or like how's that going?
Yeah. I mean, I try to do like before I left home, I was doing 2 hours a day, and then that was like I always have like that vague number in mind out here, but I rarely ever get 2 hours a day. But I wrote, I think, one of my best songs yet, called Whiskey Afternoon. Wrote that in Vienna and Split. So it was worth the extra seat.
Mhm.
Get it to Split, finish the song.
Yeah.
And yeah, that one, I'm really happy with that one. And I wrote that all. The first line came to me in Museum's Quarter in Vienna. I was sitting on a bench and I was like, I gotta write a lyric. And then the line was, winter's getting cold and my dad is getting old. Guess that I'm getting up there too. And then I had like That was the only one I kept, actually, of that little session.
But it got you the hook.
Yeah,
you
well,
were-
that was like
not the hook specifically,
No,
but I
but yeah,
I'm
it
speaking
got,
metaphorically,
but
like
it got,
hooked you
got
in.
the, yeah.
It hooked you in.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, that's a cool one. I mean, you could play something if you wanted. I haven't done it before. It probably wouldn't sound bad if we set up
Oh,
the
yeah.
microphone.
Yeah, we could do
If
that.
you wanted to.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that?
Sure.
Play a couple things?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, let's grab it. All right. Yeah, we'll do that tune, Whiskey Afternoon. I fucked up we're going now. Winter's getting cold and my dad is getting old. Guess that I'm getting up there too. Faces of a million are enough to catch a feeling like the feeling I was better with you. The forest and its trees will die like you and me as the wheat fields turn to dust. And we'll drive our cars to the end of the road, and one day those cars will rust. And I'll be gone to bed by summer's end. You wait for me at dawn, crawling back to the edge where I lost a friend. But I never stay that long. Summer's getting warm and the snow is all gone. Is it everything you wanted it to be? Start drinking too soon on a whiskey afternoon. You could never say no to me. And the forest songs to the set by the 7th cigarette. At this rate we'll be counting sheep. We'll save the regret for the unprotected sex. That's why we have plan B. And I'll be gone to bed by summer's end. You wait for me at dawn, crawling back to the edge where I lost a friend, but I never stay that long. Taxi cab, drive me on. Oh, before the feeling's gone. Oh, no, 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 Caught the bug in Georgia, it was early in the morning, wasn't what I intended to do. Kissing with my eyes wide, hugging with my hands tied, falling in love with you. People come and go with the wind, you should know, and I wish that I could stay. But I listen to this calling of the rain, and it's falling, and I best be on my way. I'll be gone to bed by summer's end. You wait for me at dawn, crawling back to the edge where I lost a friend, but I never stayed that long. Be gone to bed, oh, I'll be gone to bed, oh, crawling back to the edge where I lost a friend, but I never stayed that long. Oh, before the feeling's gone.
Fucking beautiful, man.
Thank you, brother.
You're killing that shit. It's even better than the last time you played it.
Really? I don't, maybe I got it by the end there, but I missed a couple, booted a couple parts, but
No, your voice is very refined. Like how you figured it out. You figured it out. It's good, man. Do you want to do more?
yeah, do one more. Let's do this one. Oh. Darling, won't you take my breath away? And darling, won't you break 'Cause I got nothing else to lose, nothing left to prove what I've been through. And I need a reason, something to believe in, and I believe in you. So darling, won't you take my breath away? And darling, won't you break my foolish heart? But then at the end, we say we can still be friends, but let's get it started. 'Cause I'm young but growing old, and it's freezing cold in the darkness. Yeah, I know life goes on, be here then you be gone in an instant. Oh, and the best you can say is you'd follow along the way when it's finished. Oh, darling, won't you take my breath away? And darling, won't you break my foolish heart? Darling, won't you take my breath away?
Hell yeah, man. What was that one called?
Foolish Heart.
When did you write that one?
I was about to say I wrote it on Boxing Day.
Boxing Day?
One of the vague, because it's a holiday, so I remember it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't know Boxing Day?
No, I don't know Boxing Day.
It's the day after Christmas.
The day after Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, because people put their things in boxes, like their decorations, I guess.
Oh,
That's-
like they gotta pack up the
yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
They gotta pack up the shit. Okay, I got it. Okay, that makes sense.
But it's like kind of a sad song, or it's not. I don't know. It was just interesting that I achieved that vibe right after Chris. It was like literally right after me, my brother, and his girlfriend were like hanging out and exchanging gifts and stuff. Like I went downstairs and I picked up the guitar, and that was like one of the first. The main thing on that one that hooked me was this. That little bit. Like that. Once I had that, I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I like it.
So then I was like, I wrote the lyric a few days before in the shower. Darling, won't you take my breath away, and darling, won't you break my foolish heart? I didn't know how I was gonna fit it in with anything, but I was like, take and break rhyme. We'll make it work somehow. And then yeah, like riffing that, I was like looking through my notes, and that was like one of the first ones that was there. I was like okay.
Okay.
And made it
So you
work.
do it totally separate. You make the music part and you have the lyric part.
For that,
and
that
then you
time
just
I
kind of
did,
like
yeah.
put them together. Like you're like
Yeah.
mix and match.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do that for
Fun.
like a whole, because like I only had the one line at the time. I wouldn't necessarily try writing any more than like a few bars without having some type of melody or chords in
Mhm.
mind.
Yeah. I love this that it's dark now. Like I think it's just gonna be dark from here on out. Which is great.
Oh yeah.
No, it's fine. It's all right.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm in the shot anymore. I might be. Might not be. If I'm not, because it's what it is at this point. We're already here.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, thanks for sharing that.
That was
And
fun.
and that's the cool thing, right? It's like we were talking about putting all the effort into bringing like, the guitar and carrying it, but then
Well,
it
it's
pays
always
off
worth
because
it.
like
It's
who
always
else has a
worth it.
guitar? Like sometimes hostels will have guitars, which is cool. But I'm sure it's different because like you know how yours is tuned.
Yeah.
You got that fucking cool thing at the end that tells you what chord you're playing.
Or that's yeah, for, like tuning to like what note it is.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
dude. Like that that thing.
Yeah, yeah,
That's wild. I've never seen that. Maybe it's a normal thing, but like at the end,
yeah,
just like fucking digital reads it up.
yeah. It's pretty sweet. But this thing, like, I don't consider the guitar, like because people are saying like you said like, oh, like it's a commitment to bring that, but I don't even.
You bought another
I've
fucking
never
plane
feel it.
ticket for it.
Yeah, but that's the only time.
What do you mean? You can't say that it's not a fucking commitment. You had to buy another ticket
No,
for
it is a commitment, but I just don't like feel like. I never feel like, oh, and I gotta lug this guitar around or whatever. Like,
Of
it's-
course, because you want to bring it.
Yeah, yeah,
You like holding it.
Yeah.
Because you have purpose for it.
yeah, yeah.
And that's cool. Like, I mean, I guess it kind of is a good travel instrument because it is portable, but it's also like big.
It's, I mean, I would say it's the best one because it's easy to play for people. You got like a sing along. That's hard with most instruments.
Yeah.
Like a violin is, it's
Yeah,
lighter.
it's its
and
own
smaller, but
act.
it's not.
It's its own
yeah, yeah.
act. Just
Yeah.
like a piano, but who's
Yeah.
gonna lug a piano around?
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine being that dedicated to piano that you'd buy a fucking whole,
I saw a guy
whole
like
row
that.
of
I
seats
saw a
for
guy
piano.
busking with a keyboard.
Yeah, of course, a keyboard. That's how
Yeah.
you'd be portable with it.
Yeah.
'Cause it's-
But even that is like pretty big. Because you gotta get an amp too. You gotta have.
Okay.
Or I guess you could do without the amp and just not perform. But like if you're gonna perform, you need speakers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big commitment to like travel with this shit, or just to, like keep it on you. Like
Yeah.
I was hanging out with a group of friends and this girl who was a musician, and she had her guitar because she just came from a fucking set. We were all watching her, and then we went around. We were getting food. This is in Naples, and the whole time she has her fucking like big ass guitar case because it was a big guitar, way bigger than that one. Like a big ass guitar case around her shoulder, carrying it the whole time. She's a small girl, and it's like, oh my lord! But like she like just keeps it with her. Like we went to a fucking like rap show, like and like she had it with her. Like she brought it in with her because it was like it was just wild.
That is wild.
You know, and it's like that is such a fucking commitment. And she's like, no, you know,
Yeah.
it's mine. It's okay. I got it. It's like whoa, like that.
Yeah.
Like that is your world. Like that is you're with that now.
Yeah.
That is.
It's like having a kid.
It is a commitment. Even though like you enjoyed the commitment, it is a commitment. Even though it doesn't feel negative in any way. You're committed to this thing, having this thing with you. I'm just speculating now. I'm completely talking out of my ass if you haven't noticed. But it like becomes sort of like a part of you. You know?
Yeah.
If you don't have it, you're like, where's my fucking toe? I don't know. Maybe more important. Where's my right hand?
Actually, I don't feel like that.
Maybe it's like
never
drip
be,
addiction.
I'll never be like,
You're addicted.
oh shit, where's my guitar?
Yeah. You're gonna start like fucking.
I'm never like
getting
woken
cracked
in the
out,
middle of the night.
shaking.
It's all my guitar.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
No, I just took that to the most far extreme. I thought was plausible. So.
But it is like, like when I'm traveling around like with my backpack and the guitar, like it's first it's actually not even that heavy. It's mostly just like bulky. But like I never feel like, oh, if I didn't have this guitar to lug or I gotta bring my guitar again. It's always just like.
It's with you.
It's just natural, yeah.
It's cool. It's a cool thought space to be in. I don't know what I'm that with. Because like I carried around this fucking recording equipment shit for a long time without using it, and like it was like I was like, you know. But now I try to like use it as like a reason. I'm like, yeah, I brought it here, so I got to use it here.
Yeah.
You know. So, but it is much more of a conscious thing. It's completely different, but I'm just trying to think of what way I could relate to that, because it is a very very intimate relationship. I mean, how do you think you would feel? We're gonna speculate on a reality that doesn't exist right now. How would you feel if you had never seen a guitar in your life, or never picked up a guitar in your life, and you know you picked up a guitar right now, like as at this age?
I can't really fathom. I'm just gonna speak of a hypothetical other person, because it's easier to put my head there instead of me not having played guitar. I think if you've never played it and you pick it up, because like most people I've seen who've never played it and pick it up, they don't know what the fuck to do. So they kind of just strum, pluck, you know, you kind of figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Musicians have the most fun with stuff like that. Like, if you are already a musician and you pick up a new instrument, like, you can figure it out a lot easier. It's like more intuitive. Like, I was thinking about, for me, for the violin, I was like, would me playing the violin actually be that bad? Like, how long would it take for me to not be horrible? Like, I feel like I could pick it up and make something cool happen.
Mm-hmm.
Not, you know, I wouldn't be doing anything like technically good or whatever, but like just on like a couple notes, like it's all about feel, like we were saying. Like, you want to get into that as early as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I could just mess around with a few notes and like, you know, I can make it sound cool.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's kind of hard to think about, you know, things that are so influential, but that's sort of like what I was getting at.
Non-musicians usually can't get it out of their hands quick enough.
What do you mean?
They're like if I've had friends who they're like someone's like, oh, you try playing the guitar, like you or maybe someone played like a long time ago but hasn't played, and then they're like, oh, okay, and then they pick it up and they're kind of like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, like get this out of here.
Yeah.
Because you do need patience, and you need to want to learn it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want, like, it's you need to be a kid whose parents make you learn it. If you don't want to do it, that's the only way to get through it.
Yeah. Or you want to learn it.
Yeah.
You go into it, you're humble, you're like, I know it's gonna suck, and then you get through it.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting how these relationships with things we do, right? These art forms, whatever it is, these relationships create who we are, you know? Imagine, like with what I asked earlier, imagining who you would be without having music in your life. It's hard to do.
Oh yeah, I can't even.
It's hard to do.
No.
But it's just weird. It's weird how there's certain things like that we do them, but they also create us.
Yeah.
It's weird that you do something that creates you.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing. Or the doing of something creates you.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful thing too, because then we can create ourselves with our actions, if you take that backwards.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
It's pretty cool. You can do whatever you want. Oh, what's the... you know Norm Macdonald?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had this one like throwaway bit. He's like, life's great. He's like, you can eat soup, you can wear a hat, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
it's like, yeah, you can walk here, you can walk there.
Yeah, but in the end, it's
go.
like what makes you feel good. And so it's like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, but it's kind of impossible to not do what you need to do. So you have to do what you need to do, even if you can't explain what it is you need to do, because you don't even understand what the need is, but you just understand it enough or feel it enough that you know to act in another way, or do something in this way, or whatever. And I think we're all sort of chained to that, which is the best thing. And if we don't follow that, then we feel like shit. You know, and friction builds up, and then it's like, yeah, I've got to do that thing that I have to do. You know. And so yeah, it's, do whatever you want, but we have to do the things we have to do.
But I also feel like you can pick it to some extent. Like, I think people are different. Like, some people, like, just know from a young age, like, this is what I want to do with my whole life.
I think that's bullshit. I don't think anyone knows. And I think, yes, you
Well,
pick something because you want to do it then, or you know you want to do it for a
but,
while.
But then if it sustains, like, because I don't know, music, I feel like it's always been music for me. Like, I feel like from, like, my whole life I've been training to do this, basically. But I wasn't taking it seriously for a while. I was like, you know, I'll keep doing it, just so I don't get worse, basically.
Yeah.
But like, I got, you know, different jobs and, but then, yeah, I came back to music when the big thing was when my mom died. It was a couple of years ago. And that was a big thing where I'm like, life is too short to do like bullshit. Or I was studying code at the time to do software. And I was like, I can't be behind a desk 8-9 hours a day. Like, we got to figure this out. So, and it also gave me the freedom to do music specifically, because at the time I wouldn't have been able to make much money if I just did even teaching music full time. Like, I was making pretty good money where I was at. I was doing calls for T-Mobile. And yeah, when Mom died, it was like, okay, I have some freedom to go at this for like a few years and see what happens. And also, obviously this is the thing. Like, it took me a long time to like come back, because I've always played. But then,
It didn't
yeah,
click.
a couple years ago, I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do for like a career. Like, I tried all this other shit, but like, I feel like it was also just getting better though, because I was getting better through those years. And I guess I just never saw it as a career because I never thought I was good enough. Like, I thought I was good, but like, am I good enough to teach? Am I good enough to make a career out of performing? Like, at the time, I wasn't. And then, yeah, a couple of years ago, I started really finding it with like, the big thing, honestly, that I learned a couple of years ago was feel. Because I would be like, let's take this off.
You can keep it on. I mean,
Yeah.
it'll still get it. Yeah.
This will be good. So while I was working at T-Mobile, we had a lot of time between calls. And so I would like watch football or Succession, or I would play my guitar sometimes. And I would just sit there noodling, because I'm just like killing time. Not like, I also couldn't be singing at all because I had my headset on, and when it dings, like, they'll hear whatever voice, like, I couldn't be like mid, like, and then it goes. And
Yeah.
that's how I introduce myself. So I would just play the guitar like kind of quiet, and I would do this. I'm just riffing with keeping the bottom E open and moving. Okay, I gotta figure out if I'm minor or major here. There we go. Yeah, so I don't know, that was kind of not the best example, but I just kind of learned to like get in the zone and not like I never just played, I guess is the thing. I would never pick up the guitar and just play something. I would always be like learning a song or trying to write a song, but I never just like messed around. And that is what really like taught me to get like really locked in with the right hand and like to be able to put more
Emotion?
just, yeah. Even something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard. Like, how do you explain how to put feeling into something? Right? Is it possible, or is that
Yeah.
does it
That's what I
have to
do.
be experienced?
Oh, I don't think you need to. Well, you know what? That's a great question. I don't think you need to method act.
Okay.
I think you can like, but I think it's like there's like okay, the emotion of a song, you can never really like name it. You can never point to it. It's hard to describe. But like you know it. You know what it is. You know what you're going for. And then when you play it, like you're not trying to experience the emotion, you're trying to create it.
Okay.
And so you don't need to, like, part of it comes down to practice as well.
But I think a lot of times when creating, that emotion is the catalyst of that creation. So it's less of you taking in an emotion and then creating it. In music, it's more like the emotion is coming and then it's just going through music.
Yeah.
I think that can happen a lot of ways. Not just with
It
music.
definitely
not
can.
Just with music.
And I've I don't know, it's hard to this shit's so hard to say.
It's okay. You don't have to force it.
The big thing is like if you're performing any song, like you need to commit. Like because I feel like that's almost all it takes. Like it's not about necessarily feeling like you feel it as a byproduct in trying to create it, I think. And so you just like focus and you know what you're trying to sing, you know what you're trying to do, and just fucking send it. And you just got you put everything you have into it and it works. I used to be like pretty self-conscious about like really committing to a song or like really getting into it, you know? Because it's like a vulnerable thing. But the song is always better when you commit. And if people are judging you for doing a song as to the best of your ability, then fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's better when you commit.
Yeah.
You know, fucking
Commit to a place.
yeah, committing to whatever. And of course, that doesn't mean you shouldn't change if things go bad. And things are always changing all the times too. That's why decisions have to be made. But Yeah, I guess a commitment implies perpetuity. So it's like committing in a way. You know, not fully committing for perpetuity, but committing
Well,
until it
yeah.
no longer makes sense.
Yeah. For the song, it's just like commit in terms of like just for the length of the song, I guess. You're committing to the one song.
Exactly.
Yeah. Jeez. You're leaving tomorrow, hey?
Mm-hmm. I'll be back.
Yeah. But where are you headed now?
Going to Tirana to meet up. My
Oh,
cousin.
okay. Wait, I'm going to Toronto too.
Nice.
Let's go.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
When?
I don't know. When are you going?
I have to be there at 4.
In the
I
morning?
don't have to be there. No.
Okay.
Jesus fucking Christ. No, 16. Sorry.
16.
Jesus Christ. 4 in
No,
the morning? Fucking Christ.
I don't know why I went there either. But
No. Yeah, man. Well, would you like
let's
to
do
play?
it. Let's bus, I guess. Do you have your
Yeah.
ticket already?
No.
Okay,
But
cool.
but anyways, would you like to play anything else, and then maybe we'll call it?
Sure. Let's do one more.
All right. Here, I can take the mic again to maybe optimize it. Maybe it doesn't do anything.
This one, my band Banana Crisis just put the song out today, this morning. It's called Perfect Crime. I think something in the water. I'll take a Tito's on the rocks. I think that this town might just go under. I look both ways before I cross the street. Chemical reaction in my mind hits me like an earthquake every time. I'll take a mental picture of how you look tonight and forget about the morning. It might be the way you tell me to stop staring. That really does it for me. Chemical reaction in my mind hits me like an earthquake every time. Pinch myself to know I'm still alive. I promise you that I'm still good to drive. I'll fight the next motherfucker who looks at me funny. Or says some shit about my shoes. I will follow him home in the dead of night and light his fucking house on fire. Chemical reaction in my mind
beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, man.
My pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
This has been fun.
Cool. Well,
Alright.
it's been dark for long
that
enough.
it?
I
Yeah.
mean, we've just been like dark figures.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that's
Ooh.
entertaining in its own way, for sure.
All right.
Appreciate you, man.
Always. Always.
We practiced. We had the whole beginning
I
to
was
practice.
thinking about when we went for like it would be fun if we fuck it up, but I hope we don't.
Okay.
But,
Okay. What are we
well,
doing?
let's do this one.
There we go. Okay. All right. Peace.